It was literally, you were shocked. I mean, watching it as it just unfolded, you were thinking, what just happened? And then it was emotional. To be quite honest with you, it was emotional. Let's go to the actual moment. We're going to replay it for you. When we found out, when we heard the shots or what appeared to be gunshots ring out.
Take a look at what happened.
And you know what, Niall, watching that again, you saw former President Trump reach up and touch his ear and then look at his hand and then touch his ear again, like it's almost if he got hit by a bullet, grazed by one. And the fact that all of those citizens are standing behind him, and whoever is capable of even thinking of doing this, obviously their mind is in another place, but endangering any human being, let alone that many people. But you saw him duck, and then the Secret Service piled on top of him as a protective measure. But watching that video again helps give us a little bit more clarity, don't you think?
Absolutely, yeah, it does. And one of the odd things watching that video, once again, is the former president puts his hand up seemingly behind his ear. Now, I was looking in that footage to see if bystanders were looking in a particular direction, something that we have seen, unfortunately, at other sad moments of American history. Right now, there just seems to be chaos as we watch that. There doesn't seem to be, I mean, people clearly crouching in fear themselves as the former president goes down. Secret Service very quickly on the scene. And typically Secret Service, which of course the former president, like all former presidents, is entitled to that Secret Service detail. They will be putting themselves in the way of any further shooting, which, you know, we did not hear any further shots. But I mean, just a very traumatic moment there. It's not clear to me watching that if there is anyone who could have not been attending the rally but could have had a line of sight toward the former president. That seems unlikely to me. It all seems to be attendees there. So, you know, obviously the first and most important issue is the former president's condition. But this is, you know, I mean, this is something that is an instant global story. I know that from messages I'm getting from around the world. And there will be a lot of questions to be answered about security at the event. And this is going to change everything politically. You and I were speaking an hour or so ago, Adrienne, in what now seems a very different reality about the imminent Republican National Convention, which is, of course, to open in Milwaukee on Monday. On Thursday, the former president was going to be crowned as the GOP nominee. We'll just have to see what happens in the next hours.
Well, and you said it changes the political picture, even though the concern right now would be for the well-being, the health of this man, former President Trump, wondering if there was any other injury to him besides what appears to be a nick or worse to the ear. We don't know because we can't see him from that side. But in photos that I've seen online now of this, with his arm raised up, he has blood on the side of his face as though something hit him. He felt it, and then he realized that that's blood and went down, ducked. But that area that they held the event in, Niall, interestingly, is a fairgrounds. So it's almost like someplace where you'd have like a rodeo, and there are bleachers encircling it. And the thought is, like those people standing behind him, there's an equal number of bleachers opposite him. Somebody would have had to be at an elevated position in order to strike him over the crowds of people in the chairs.
Yes, that's exactly right, Adrienne. And it is very alarming to even, you know, we'll see what happens with the medical condition, and the next hours will bring whatever they bring. But it is alarming in and of itself, clearly, that someone with the worst kind of malevolent intent got access to that event. To your point about the bleachers, that person appears to have been somewhere that gave them that elevated position that you mentioned. I think the reassuring thing is the fact that the former president clearly was still conscious and able to stand up immediately afterwards.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.